Alia, welcome to India today.
Thank you.
This is truly a special conversation for two reasons. One is because we are getting to meet you after a long time.
Yeah.
And second is because there's an exciting film coming up. The trailer is already killing it and making the right kind of buzz. I want to start this conversation and take you back in time a bit. I know we don't want to go back in time, but we've been sitting at home for quite some time. We've come out of that. How does an actor tackle that anxiety, that frustration of having work ready but not being able to put it out like anybody else, right? What was going through your mind in those days, and how did you stay grounded?
Well, when the pandemic first hit, 2020, we were in the middle of filming Gangubai, and I think obviously it took everybody by surprise. The whole world was confused. I remember it actually being at the time also I was very consumed because Ranbir's dad was in hospital, and I remember that mental energy being about that. And I think only after a couple of months it actually hit me that, oh, we have been sitting at home for all this time and we don't know when it's opening up. So at that time there was more fear for what's happening in the world than really thinking about yourself and your work and stuff. When we resumed, it felt like, oh, it's all done. Then the second time when it happened, that's when it actually felt a little uncertain, because then it was like, okay, how often is this going to happen? And also that was the second time in the second wave is when I also got COVID. So I went through it, touch wood, everything was fine, and I recovered well. But it was that fear, okay, how often are we going to keep going back? Is it going to happen for, and the second wave was really, really distressing and very bad. Again, it was not about the film, it was about, again, what's happening in the world. By then, I'd also become extremely comfortable with the fact that, okay, listen, nothing is going to go according to plan. Everything is going to change. So you have to just take each day as it comes. I actually didn't face any anxiety on the work front for myself. It was more on an overall sense, what is the fate of the cinemas? What is the fate of audience coming back to the theatre? How is it going to work? How is it going to... It was more questions, which actually I was preferring not to ask myself, because the more you think about it, the more it worries and bothers you. So like I said, each day as it comes became my motto. And like that, we are here.
Absolutely.
I took each day as it comes, and it's seeming on the positive side now. We have successfully gone through the third wave. I mean, it's trickling down now, and people have now learned to deal with COVID. Restrictions are being lifted. Like, I remember when the swimming pools opened after 2 years, I was like, oh, finally. Like, it's seeming like, okay, now there is a change. Like, swimming pools have opened. So it is seeming more positive. It is seeming a little bit more certain. And it seems like it is the beginning of the end. That's what I would like to believe. But like I said, prepare, hope for the best, be ready for the worst, and keep soldiering on.
Absolutely. Keep soldiering on is the mantra, I think, that we need to follow.
Yeah.
And I also want to sort of get into the headspace of what is it like to work with Sanjay Leela Bhansali? What is it like to be on that set? Because, I mean, there are so many theories about how he is. One is the taskmaster, that he's been very strict. And during Savarya, Ranbir spoke about that. And Sonam spoke about that. And also, he's a perfectionist. He really does take his time. And so what was your thing? Like, did Ranbir also give you some insights before getting into this space that, this is what he will ask you to do?
I don't think, no, he didn't do that, because also that would, it would make my experience, like I would already have certain thoughts and perceptions before entering the experience. I know people use this word taskmaster and perfectionist a lot with him. I definitely do believe that he is, he's extremely dedicated and expects 100% of competence from his crew and his team and his actor and his, and all the actors in front of the camera. But I don't think he's a perfectionist. I think he is somebody who looks for, like I keep saying, magic. He looks for that quality which even you don't know you have within you. And I actually find finding magic harder, because perfection is technical. It's the right way of delivering the lines. It's a clean tone. He doesn't like cleanness. He likes something new, unpredictable.
Imperfection.
He wants you to take him on a journey which he's also not expecting. If he's expecting it, then it becomes boring for him, which is why he's actually constantly improvising and changing and this thing. And there's no one way of doing anything. on his set. It's always new ways of exploring a scene. You sit and there are million ways you can explore one scene. So we used to go on set, the day used to begin with us sitting and discussing the scene. We used to discuss for an hour, 2 hours sometimes. Go, then block the scene. See where all we can do it. We can do it here, we can do it lying down, we can do it sleeping, we can do it standing, we can do it standing on one toe, we can do it however. Okay, this is great, now go get ready. Then when I would go get ready, some new suggestions would come. Sir is thinking this, think about it, what do you feel? Then I would come back, so yeah, this is working. And suddenly it all changed again. So actually, I was always prepared for anything. There was a time where I couldn't go on to set without knowing my lines by heart. I used to learn my whole script 1 month in advance. In this film, I used to literally learn my lines on the fly because we used to keep improvising, keep changing, keep adding things, keep changing things, keeping the plot points in mind. But always the intention is to better and better. Right. So that journey is, I would not even know where the time was going on set. We used to shoot nights 6 to 6. I used to arrive. Before knowing it, it was 4 o'clock in the morning. I was like, yeah, kya ho gaya? After dinner break, you don't even know. Like, my time would go like this because that's how on the brain was.
Right. And Alia, if you look at your IMDb page, right, like if you go back in time and you go to Student of the Year, for example.
I have an IMDb page?
Yeah, I mean, you are on IMDb. Everybody's on IMDb.
Okay.
Your filmography is on that page.
Okay, I've never been on that page. How does it seem?
It seems interesting, and it definitely, from Student of the Year to Gangubai Kathiawadi, film on film, there's only been you exploring newer characters and we getting to see sides of you which probably we didn't get to see. So I want to speak to you a little bit about breaking the Alia Bhatt misconception. What do you think is the greatest misconception that has been about you, which you think you have unknowingly or knowingly been able to break?
Oh, that I think the biggest misconception is that I've been sort of given this like all my movies just placed and presented to me on a silver platter, which just comes to me because I ask for it. I think that's one major misconception, which I totally don't agree with. And I also don't understand how anyone can even say those things, because anybody who's in the business or has been a part of the business will know that you cannot survive even 17 minutes without being hardworking. So I know the amount of sleepless nights that I've had. I know the amount of cuts and bruises and aches and pains that I've had working. I've given my blood, sweat, tears to the process of filmmaking throughout my career, and it's been 10 years. And I don't believe that it's possible to survive 10 years in any industry if you're not hardworking. You can be talented, but if you're not hardworking, there's no survival. So I think that's one biggest misconception, that even if few people have it, I would sit and debate with them for 7 hours. I mean, I wouldn't, because I really don't care what people think. But I mean, that's one thing that I can very strongly and proudly say that nobody can really say. You can say I'm not a good actor. I don't care. But you can't say I'm not hardworking. You can say I'm not good looking. Again, I don't care. But you can't say I'm not hardworking. So that's one thing that I won't tolerate and agree with.